in terms of Kevlar. Just a few Tech 9s thrown across, although Alumet, of course, coming in a stand-in role is only going to have $800, so it's not ideal for them. Looking through mid, going to see a player over on Arches. I think that was critical. He takes a bit of damage. He was one of the pretty sick players on Team Infused yesterday with the AWP, pulled off some crazy shots with it, and he's definitely going to be needing to stand up today. The reason why I was talking over that play is because, you know, you're assuming that Infused are pretty much going to seal the deal from that place. They had two players around balcony and pit, another on the crossfire from Apps. And LDLC White just got smashed. But with the previous eco, they're able to buy themselves up some AK-47s with a Galil. So, Flirtatious Route from the T's, dropping the bomb in mid. Smoke down mid pretty much is going to stop that push for now. It's very unlikely you'd see terrorists pushing through the smoke unless there are flashbangs to follow it up. And as you can see, LDLC barely have any flashes to play with, just the 5 of them, but separated on 3 players. Alumet into this round, because of the previous $800 that he picked up after standing in, was only able to get a Glil and Kevlar. And Matt Hend was very much a similar situation. So Infused have to just dig in deep here. LDLC White will be the high favourites to pick up this matchup today. Body gets the opening pick onto Critical, but HudsG does reply from pit. 2 players stacked in pit. This is a bit unorthodox. Normally you'd have one on balcony, but instead playing more passive. HudsG picks up the second frag, is looking for the third as well. It's just tapping and picks it up with style and a 4th kill. Nearly gets an ace, but Aaron is there to take it away from him. They'll be very, very happy with that round Infused. Perfectly done. And LDLC now going to be back to square one. Well then, what? Matt Hen just got stabbed down to 28 HP in spawn. That did not look like a mistake either. That was like, I've got a knife and it's going between your shoulder blades. So maybe someone going on tilt there. Maybe there's a bit of dissension amongst the ranks. I'm really not sure what to say there looking in on it, but it definitely didn't look accidental. So Matt Hen starting the round on 28 HP. Of course, it could be worse. They could have been on a forced buy or a full buy with that knife coming in. It is an eco. You're expecting them to lose anyway, but still, that's very, very strange to see. Oh, look at Red Snake just coming in. It was Alumet, the stand-in, who goes and knifes his teammate in the back twice, which could add further dissension amongst the ranks. It's all on Body with the Deagle in Banana, and he is getting sprayed left, right, and center. And there we go. It's Zed who gets the final kill. Now, yesterday we had Kinder as a substitute for Team Infused, so today Zed is resuming back in again. T-Sac is also a player that we've seen playing with Infused in the past, so not sure what to make of this. So, round 5 coming up. Another AK buy up for LDLC. Have themselves 2 Molotovs that they're going to be able to throw on towards B. It looks as though they are moving into position. Red Snake and Zed are there, laid in wait. This is not the second half wrecked car, this is the first map. And it currently sits at 4-0. Look at the smokes down and the spray following up. Red Snake picking up 2. Alumet gets 1 back, but he gets traded out from Zed. And again, the terrorists on the receiving end of a battering. This is looking like it's got 5-0 written all over it from Infused, who are looking hungry for more frags. HudsG gets himself back on the scoreboard once again. Matt Hend doing some damage of his own, though. Brings it back into a 1v2. You can see him just hiding here. 45 seconds. No one's willing to move. They're waiting for that bomb to go down. They know for a fact he's on B. And the CTs don't have to start moving in until that bomb starts being planted. The pressure, the impetus needs to be on the T side here. Matt Hend has to make the moves. And he knows it. And he's trying to sneak his way towards A. And he just gets shut down. So brilliant placement from Infused. A lot of people thought they didn't have much chance in this game. But you're already seeing right off the get-go, you cannot underestimate this team. Because, after all, Infused had a very close best of 3 yesterday. And they're here to play today as well. 5-0, critical with the opening pick, as I called. When that AWP is in his hands, he's able to do crazy things. And he does just that. He's taken the AWP into apps now, so he's hoping that terrorists try to make the most of their fairly poor weaponry by going into apps and using the close-range devastation from the Tech 9 to rain out. But the problem is that he will be walking right into the CT's hands. And Team Infused are more than happy to accommodate the Frenchman. I'm assuming Alumet is also French, although Toynu is of course Belgian. Pop flash in, just a bit too early, but still Aaron is going to get the entry, and the second and the third as well, spray controlling like a beast, all headshots. And it just goes to show that Infused, they have no weak links, everybody can stand up to the plate, and maybe we're going to start to see UK-based squads getting up the ranks finally. It's been a long time coming, and judging by their individual skill, there's no reason why these guys couldn't make it. Matt Hen is going to push right through though and gets the upper hand onto Aaron, who's not expecting that. Red Snake's like, you what, mate? I'm going to spray through that smoke, but he's not really landed much himself. 10 seconds though on the timer, so for all of the jokes between the players, it is still going to go the way of the CTs. And there we go, Red Snake picks up Matt Hand, who had to go in. And the thing is as well, because they knew where he was and because there was such little time, it was important for Matt Hen to get killed before the timer ran out, because then he'd be finishing that round with no money. So it means he would not be able to get an AK-47. So Matt Hen just ran out guns blazing, purposely there to get killed. There is method behind the madness. I'm going to say it again, guys. It's 0-0. If you look above the T score right now, you'll see a lovely overlay that Ruben made, which tells you the overall score of the teams. The reason why that may be confusing for you guys is because we did have a delay of about 30 to 40 minutes, which was mostly on part because of the server. So, if you're a bit confused coming into this game, that is why it may seem like this match is further along than it actually is. There's Zed with the first one, looking for second, lands that as well, looking for a third kill, but he's run out of bullets and he's run out of life as Fox trades him out. A very confident performance from Infused, and even though Fox will get the bomb planted, his chances of keeping the CTs off this bomb are very, very small. Marginal at best, because he's got that smoke down. There's the first kill. Maybe I've spoken too soon, but the crossfire inevitably comes in from behind, and HuzG picks up yet another kill. He's on 8 for 1, Aaron on 8 for 3, Red Snake 8 for 3 as well. Everybody chiming in on the CT side. Two AWPs. Interesting that the T's would go for an AWP. I talked about this yesterday, where AWP on T side of Inferno is definitely not necessarily required. Maybe to throw it in now and again, but just going back onto a point I made yesterday, because there may be some of you that weren't watching. Really, from an AWPing perspective on T side, the only opportunity you're going to get is mid. And if the CTs don't peek it, then there's not much up for grabs. And we saw Zanzier struggling with that yesterday from C-Play, who's a phenomenal AWPer, but got extremely low chances on this map, especially on T side. So Alumet, I'm hoping from the perspective of LDLC that he doesn't continue to run the AWP if no options are available for LDLC White. But he has made it work now. Going up through mid, I'm surprised that the CTs would get caught off in that manner. No flashes, no smokes, no pop flashes, nothing. They just pretty much naked walked out and got picked off. So let's see, Infused. Are you going to hold fast here, or are you going to crumble? One of the issues that a lot of these teams suffer from is not being able to get past the finish line. It's still early days. I'm not going to say this map's over just yet. 7-0 is solid, but they need to keep going. And speaking of solid, Aaron picks up 3 frags. And as many seconds in the blink of an eye, he just turns it on. And now Matt Hen in another clutch, and he's not able to do anything. Aaron gets a 4th and moves 12 for 3. Jeez. It's important to mention, though, guys, that Devil is not playing with LDLC White right now because he had some DC issues coming about. So you've got to question how much that's going to hamper LDLC's performance coming through in this matchup without one of their starting players, and how Alumet will fit in with the strats. How much have they played with this guy? I've absolutely no idea. So it's pretty possible this could end up being a determining factor in this matchup. To take nothing away from Infused, though, they've been performing very solid. But look at this pushing from the T's. They managed to get a player through onto Ruins, but Zed this time opens up with a nice quick shot across with a double. Huds G comes in with an M4 headshot, and it's down to Matt Hend again. How many times is this guy the last remaining player for LDLC White? Always seems to be that it's him in these tense rounds. Must have balls of steel, but so far he's yet to convert one of them. Just tapping underneath, going to be Molotoving Aaron. That's going to force Aaron out. Has to be quick on the trigger. Oh, and he whiffs completely. He had the drop on Aaron. Aaron should have been a dead man as he peeked out, and instead he gets the kill. And LDLC's woes continue, and I do wonder, because of the delays that we've had, because of the stand-in, how much is that going to put them on tilt? Some teams are very susceptible to being put on tilt, and I wonder if LDLC is one of those. First frag down from Body. Onto Critical, who was just lurking in apps, got his head took off his shoulders. And LDLC, this is one of the first times that they've had the entry frag in a good position with lots of time to play with, and they're running out of rounds here. They've got to start mounting a comeback. I'd say on Inferno you want at least 4 rounds. That is the minimum of a terrorist, but typically you're going to want 5 or 6 rounds to give you a good opportunity pushing forward. So LDLC, there's only 6 rounds remaining, including this. After this it's 5. So now is the time to start to get that momentum on the board. Smoking out Archers, smoking out Library, 3 players strong, about to push Arch. But there is Red Snake in Library, the smoke went too deep, he's able to sit in the doorway and just spray. And it may seem like a very small mistake throwing a smoke in too deep into Library, but it has huge repercussions that will ripple through LDLC, and they've all fallen down with just losing 1 player, which was Critical, who was the first player taken out in the early stages, and that is just going to be a denting body blow for LDLC White. 1 small mistake cost them huge. So force play up for LDLC, Tech 9s and Armor, P250 for Fox. And it's going to be an A push, and a very aggressive one at that. It's important that Aaron doesn't get caught off guard. Pop Flash will completely isolate Alumet from the rest of the team, but it doesn't matter because that Tech 9 is going to come good with 2 frags. Aaron gets a Molotov onto Matt Hend. And now, suddenly, LDLC White have a real opportunity to pick up a round and start to move forward on this map. Molotov gets cancelled out by the smoke. Zed and Red Snake have no reason to save. There's lots of funds for them to play with. They may as well go for broke. First frag comes in this exchange, and it's Alumet. Last player is going to be Red Snake, only for a few moments. Body puts him down. And welcome to the scoreboard, LDLC White. So look at the scoreboard. Aaron 15 for 4, Red Snake 13 for 5. And then Huds G and Zed on 9. Critical coming up from behind with 4. That's to be expected to a certain extent. Inferno is not the most AWP heavy map. Critical is an AWPer at heart. He's very, very good with that weapon. And on the opposite side, LDLC, Fox 6 for 10. Matt Hend 7 for 11. The rest of the scoreboard filling in afterwards. Tactics. Comeback is real. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. They need 5 here, I'd have to say. It is their choice of map. They have a very strong CT side, LDLC White, and having a substitute, a stand-in, helps a lot more in CT than it does on T side, so keep that in mind. Meanwhile, as I'm speaking, B has been taken fairly comprehensively from LDLC. They lose 1 player, however, 2 players heavily tagged up. In fact, you could say Matt Hend as well on 61 HP is close to death. But look at the amount of utility that they have to throw in afterwards. They've got grenades, they've got flashbangs. This should not be a lost round. Was that a shot on Alumet onto Matt Hend? I believe that was. He just shot his teammate in the back. Very, very odd indeed. Let's see if it comes back to haunt them. It doesn't. They line up, and Fox drills them in the side. And that was a pretty purposeful AWP shot as well. And Alumet knifed Matt Hend before, so I don't know if there's some bad blood between these two guys. Like, at this point I have no idea what exactly is going on between them, but that's the second time where he's like straight up team wounded. And the plot thickens, as they say. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if it continues to happen, because it hasn't costed them around just yet, but it very well could do. I agree. Heckler, Infused are a good team, for sure. I think a lot of people thought the LDLC White were better though, and this will be a surprise. I think when I checked on CSGO Lounge and HLTV, it was around 67 to 60... Well, I see 67 to 70% in favour of LDLC White. A lot of people thought they'd win this game. And this is still, as I said, not quite slipped away for them just yet. If they can get 5 rounds, it looks like they're on point to do just that. And they win the pistol round, they're right back into this game. But the issue is that if they make any mistakes in these last couple rounds, then things could get hairy for them once more. Hudgy was very slow on the trigger there. I'm not sure if he's having some issues or what, but that took him a good second to react to Toy New pushing him. And that's going to definitely hamper his chances of saving this AK-47, because he has been found out and is low. I think he just dropped into pit. Let's have a quick switch. Yeah, he's in pit with the AK. But he's being chased down from the terrorists who are checking every single corner in apps. And eventually they will snake their way onto him. They're spraying around each corner. It's getting closer and closer. It's like a scene out of a horror movie. But the bomb has exploded, which means he's only going to have to save for a few more seconds. He will keep this AK going forward into the next round. 10 to 3. And Infused are on an eco for this round. Unless they want to force up with 5.7s and armor or something like that the next two. Yeah, going for 5.7s with some utility with a defuse kit. It means they can afford to buy FAMASs or 5.7 armor next round as well, so it's all good for them. Maybe they can squeeze out a couple FAMASs depending on that. With Kevlar I'm talking about, if they can get some kills in this round. Very slow round here from the T's. They are keeping their cars close to their chest. Again, Alumet with the AWP is trying to work through on arches. All the CTs have to do here is wait. Look at this, they're setting up the pop flash. It's been thrown in. Actually, no, my mistake. It was a smoke onto B banana area, and in doing so, Red Snake gave his position away, and he died needlessly. So that's 2 picks from LDLC White. However, the 5.7 is going to work here from Aaron. He goes for a quick peek. He's somehow still alive. Shot through the pillar from Alumet. And he knows where Aaron is, the last remaining player of Team Infused. If he peeks, he will certainly die here from Toy New. There are no doubts about that. And there we go. Toy New shuts him down 10 to 4. Here's the scoreline now. Tactics, you're ridiculous. It's alright, bro, it's alright, calm down. So, last round, I was completely incorrect in my assessment now. It didn't take into account round loss bonus, so I apologise for that. Team Infused, they're not going to scrape by on FAMASs, they're going for M4s, and they've got more than enough funds to do just that. It is going to be a glass cannon AWP for critical, but if he plays his angles right, that's really not going to matter. From a CT perspective, he shouldn't get naded or Molotov out and killed, as long as he just plays smart. You can see again the terrorists are enjoying this apps mid-push. And they have typically got their rounds from just this. They got the one on B before, but generally it's been A with these plays. Look at the spin across from body with a double. That is pixel perfect spray control, but there's critical with 2 of his own. There's a smoke down there. Can he get the 3rd shot through the smoke? He's going to be pushing it. That's extremely ballsy. And while he does that, the bomb's been planted on A site. And now the retake is in effect as I just smacked the headset off my head. Good game, Vince, well played. Here comes the retake in from Red Snake, the flashbang, but they've lined up for Matt Hend, who is just chilling in Boiler. And he will oblige in kind in LDLC pick up the 5th round, and I called it before. They desperately needed at least 5 for me from that position to have any chance at holding on to this map. And all things considered, 10-5 on T side is not actually bad. A lot of teams would take that. And when you factor in that Infused picked up 10 rounds back to back, it was pretty much a lot of people, myself included, thinking, okay, LDLC may have just lost this map, like straight up. But credit to them. Kudos to LDLC for holding on. And now what I was going to talk about before is having a replacement, a stand-in on CT side is much easier to cope with. It's much easier to deal with than on the T side, potentially. Unless it's like an entry fragger who's just going to go crazy and play lone wolf style. But Alumet was the AWPer, so that has much more impact and implications on your T side than being on CT. You can pretty much just say to Alumet, where do you like to play? And then just go there. And from there on in, you can set up strats around that tactic. So, we are on another pause. I'm not sure for the reason that we're on pause. There you go. That may have just gave us a bit of an idea, because Devil's back. So, not only did LDLC White pick up 5 rounds with a stand-in, now their full roster's back on show for CT side. Welcome back, Devil. LDLC will be very happy to see him rejoin the server. And you can pretty much scratch everything I just said about a stand-in on CT side, because they've got their 5th back once more. So, big round here for both teams. For Infused, because it would give them a huge buffer and a much better chance at grasping this map quicker. And LDLC to give them another lifeline to bounce back and make that comeback complete. So I can't emphasize enough how critical this round is for both teams. And there's Toy New from Coils, one tapping critical, shutting down the B push before it even began. And Infused, they surely don't want to go for this. It's pretty obvious the CTs would have stacked 3 on B at this point, but they're pushing. They've gone for the pop flash. Fox gets 2 kills and looking for a 3rd. And even though he doesn't connect the 3rd, that's probably good enough. Devil goes back in. The bomb's been dropped, and this round has just been a cataclysmic performance for Infused. And another match pause. Woo! 10 out of 10. How many is that? 4? 3? I've lost count. I'm going to take a quick drink, guys. Make sure I keep my voice hydrated and alive for you. Alrighty, so let's take stock of the situation. For those of you that have just joined in, welcome to the stream. I'm Edis, I'm solo casting this evening. You missed the first best of 3, which ended up going 2-0 very comfortably in the N2C play. And this is the second best of 3, first map between Infused and LDLC White. We've had a few delays, a few technical issues with some of the players, but I think we're about ready to jump back into the saddle. There we go, the unpause is in effect. And LDLC, who were 10-0 behind one stage on their T side, bounce back with 5 consecutive rounds and get the pistol round here on CT. So, I'm not going to say the comeback's complete just yet because there are more hurdles and obstacles for them to clear, but the signs are looking good. Much better than they were 10-15 minutes ago, that's for sure. 4 MP9s for LDLC White. I personally hate playing with this weapon, but then again I am a scrub, so take that with a pinch of salt. M4 Matt Hend. Here we go with the Tech 9 push. This is LDLC's choice of map. Next map is going to be Dust 2, which Infused are known for being very solid on. Played it yesterday, had a good performance on it. Meanwhile, as I'm speaking, MP9 hasn't claimed any kills, but it's done a lot of damage to a bunch of players. Here we go, opening up with the MP9 and Toy New. Oh my goodness, just locks it down with a vengeance, and they had 4 health on Devil, 21 on Toy New, but they kept every weapon going forward. And they must know that was a forced buy-up with Kevlar, so they're just going to keep a hold of those SMGs, because now here comes the real fun for LDLC. Of course, they pick up a bunch of money for every kill that you land with the SMG. 600, I believe. Grenade through, oh my goodness, the molly and grenades are real! They pick up 3 kills between them. And that hen finishes it off with a P2000 shot. And they read the minds of Infused. But that was pretty much a throwaway round. That was a straight up eco. I think that was a Glock train round. So no huge problem for them there. And look at this. This is an odd decision for me. LDLC keeping 3 SMGs against AKs with full armor. This could be a huge mistake. I understand that you want to keep some of those economy and monies going forward, but this could potentially lose you the round. It started well for them because Zed and HuzG are oh so low, but here comes Red Snake. He doesn't get anything. And hey, shush me, shush the caster, because the players have made the 3 MP9s work. On paper, that is an extremely risky move. I stand by what I said. But they executed it well. Or I guess on the flip side you could say, well, Infused just didn't really execute their T-strats too well. And in doing so, they're going to try and play passive, maybe get a couple picks, maybe look towards saving this round. The issue is that with Zed on 6 HP, he can't afford to die after the timers ran down. So it's kind of an extremely tough call to make. And you can see from Zed's position, he's definitely thinking about saving this AK. Stano, Devil is back again. He had some issues, sat out for the first half. Alumet came in to replace him, and now he's back on the server once more. It's a bit confusing, but he is back now. And I assume he'll be back for the rest of the maps as long as his internet holds up. 10 seconds, and yeah, indeed the Ts were playing for the save. But now here comes the real terror, as the CTs come and hunt them. It looks as though they are going to be able to save the weapons. Yep, they do. They save both AK-47s. As you can see there, the reason why it's so dangerous is because you lose the weapon after the round is ended. And you got $100 on Aaron and $250 on Zed. So if they lost the weapons, they'd be on no money at all, and it would completely economy screw them. And because they realise that chances of having any more assault rifles are bare to none, they're keeping 2 MP9s. And the economy is just growing and growing and growing for LDLC White. After this round, if they lose a few weapons, I wouldn't be too surprised if they throw across an AWP. But look at this, it's Infused that are coming out ahead. It was a team kill at the end onto Red Snake, but both of the AKs are still in play, and the other 3 players only have P250s or Tech 9s. So pretty huge across the board. They've got a bomb plant down as well. So here was me, assuming the round was going to fall very easily into the hands of the French, but anything but the case. 39 HP on Aaron, 100 on Zed. Both of them have Kevlar, and they've just used the last of their utility, but it's not going to matter because Aaron from Pit gets the first. He hears the running footsteps of Gaze, body Gaze to be precise, and he gets taken down. The bomb's ticking so quickly. Zed gets the kill, and Infused get their 11th and break their duck on the T side, 11-9. But as I said, I would not be surprised if, as a result of all that economy saved up, LDLC White would opt for an AWP. That's exactly what they've done. On Toyny, let's have a look where he's spawned. He's got a good spawn for mid, so it's very likely he'll have a quick peek at this one. And indeed he will, down towards T-steps. But there's no movement. And you've got to be very careful as an AWP. If you don't spot anybody for a few seconds, there's a very high chance that they're rushing second mid and looking for a quick peek onto you. So it's a case of having a peek, giving it 2-3 seconds at most, and then backing away, which is exactly what Toyny did. That was the correct decision, because there are 3 terrorists, as you can see right now, going up second mid. But consistently, Infused are getting into apps, they're getting lots of real estate, they're getting lots of information, but LDLC White are happy, they're content to play a deep, disciplined defense on A. And that can definitely work for you. Just because you give apps up doesn't mean a great deal. They still have to execute straps. Here comes the push. It's a 1-1 trade thus far, but now LDLC get the crossfire from quad. A 2-1-3, but look at both of Infused players down to sub 10 HP. It's all on Zed, and he's back at spawn, and he wants to save this for 35. It's not going to be the sexiest of Counter-Strike, watching him save the weapon, but still, it's a comfortable victory in the end for LDLC White. They pick up their 10th round. And from here on in, I would say from an 11-10 scoreline, I would be favouring LDLC White to pick up this round. And this map as well. Maybe quite a bold claim to make, but LDLC White have such a strong CT. I'm not sure I can see Infused breaking it another 5 times. So, the question now is there going to be another AWP for Toynu? And the answer is a yes. It was dropped on the ground there. Once again, Team Infused find themselves in familiar territory with an AK, with a full save on the rest of their team. They've been getting through apps, they've been getting into mid a whole bunch. It's a 1 for 2! Buy one, get one free from Toynu. He'll take that. One of the players was the AK'd Kevlar up Z, which is just going to add insult to injury. Fox onto HUDG in apps. You never line up there, guys. You never ever line up. Because you're asking to get picked off. And Toynu just went and added another to his collection, looking for a 4th, and he gets it. Headshot. That is going to leave a mark. 11-11, and Infused do not have a fantastic economy to get a bunch of grenades with. I mean, they can afford to get AKs with HE here and a smoke there, but on T side, you're really wanting Molotovs as well. Molotovs play a huge pivotal role on T side of Inferno. There's a lot of close angles and places to camp from the CTs that make it tough for the terrorists to push in, and the Molotovs alleviate a lot of that pressure. So again, they're just going into apps, they're getting all the information. This time though, LDLC do go looking, and they get made to pay, and it's one of the reasons they have given up apps over and over again, because they realize that the picking power is pretty strong. That Molotov perfectly placed from Fox, it keeps them from going out of the balcony side. But more importantly, it allows the rotation to come in from Matt Hend, who's now moved on to Arches. You can also see that Body's getting all the information down at logs on Banana. So this, for a 3-on-4 situation, I'd say this is pretty much as perfect as it gets for LDLC White. Info in Banana still there. 48 seconds. The only issue could come from Body if they begin to push him, and the trajectory of that grenade probably signifies to Infused that he is tight left on the logs. But they're still going to lose one player. The problem now is that the CTs are still a player down. Can Fox get there in time? Can Matt Hend get there in time? It doesn't look likely. The smoke's been put down from Infused, and now the bomb will be planted afterwards. Matt Hend rushing right in, not bothering to walk until the bitter end. He gave his position away, but honestly it doesn't matter a great deal. Fox is there as well. This would be a very tough ask from LDLC White. And they have lost the first player. And Red Snake gets the second as well. So I was saying, you know, almost perfect position from LDLC White being in a 3v4, but I've got to give a lot of credit to Infused as well for getting the 2 entries in apps and forcing those rotations in the first place. Nicely executed in the end. It was a good round of Counter-Strike, I'd say. Both teams doing a good job there, but Infused getting the all-important round under their belt. Molotov on card, slightly out of place. I think what the terrorists were hoping for is for it to go behind the car and flush out anyone that was there. Didn't quite do that. But Toynu with the AWP once again. Who's 15 for 15, by the way. He's not had the most fantastic of maps, but he started to step up big on CT side. And again, it comes back to what I was talking about before. This map, for me, is much more beneficial to have the AWP on CT side. Critical is going to be running with it, though, because he is pretty much a natural AWPer. AWPers like Alu, they can pick up an assault rifle and be just as deadly. No disrespect to Critical, but I feel he's very reliant on the AWP. Aaron's been picked off from Fox, who eats 34 HP worth of damage. And still the push on to B continues, but it doesn't really have any penetration whatsoever. They're just running through the smoke, which you never do from a terrorist perspective, because it results in what we just saw, and that is a massacre. No weapons dropped from LDLC White, so that is a flawless round as far as they're concerned. And that's just going to keep the economy and the monies going in the bank. And with 12 to 12 Infused on a force buy situation or just a straight up eco, I'm expecting it to be the latter of those options, and indeed it will be. P250s and 2 Tech 9s. It's always great to see UK teams, right? I'm an Englishman, so from my perspective, I love seeing UK teams. And Infused have been doing themselves proud over this tournament. They've been no pushovers. A lot of people wrote them out, but 12-12 on LDLC's map of Inferno, that's not shabby. They played well yesterday as well. Devil is getting the tags, but not the frags, onto Oh, wow! I was about to say, onto Infused. But that's a fast push in from Aaron, and he gets the headshot with the Tech 9. Quick rotation over from CTs. What I'd like to see the terrorists do right now is go straight through mid. They must know that this over-rotation is in effect now that it's been spotted out. They're still going in. They're going for broke. They're hoping that the entries are strong enough. The issue is that they're walking into the blender once again, but there's Aaron with the entry, and he's going to get the bomb plant. The issue is that Team Infused overcommitted there on the push in. And they haven't planted the bomb yet, which is even worse. That bomb needs to go down right now from Infused. That should have been planted already, and they're going to lose this round without planting the bomb, it seems. 25 seconds. And they will lose the round. I'm very puzzled by that, because I'm not sure who it was. They were planting the bomb, and they stopped. Even though there was more than enough time to get that bomb planted. The only thing I can assume is because they had no presence in ruins. They were worried that a CT was pushing through ruins aggressively and would shut them down from the side. That's the only thing I can think of. But even still, you're on an eco. It's kind of worth just saying screw it. Let's go for that bomb plant. Let's get the definite money in our tracks. Either way, the Frenchman plus the Belgian are looking good here at 13-12. It's not a fantastic buy-up from Infused. 2 Tech 9s and a Galil. They do have a couple of Molotovs, which have been sorely lacking from their grenades in previous rounds. Molotov out onto short. That's going to stop the push for a few seconds. Grenade in, but it's the balcony that's being pushed down. Nice flashbang. But somehow Fox survives against Hudge G with 28 HP. He walks back onto the Molotov, but it's getting so hot. He's got to get his dancing shoes on just to survive. Red Snake drops the grenade anyway. Now, LDLC, I mean, they're just a couple steps away from winning this map now. This is going to be another force by slash eco for Infused. Do they want to go for broke and try and force the victory, or do they want to play for the draw? Which of course would go into overtime. It seems that they are happy enough to go for the overtime for now. But then again, Tech 9s with a bit of Kevlar on the side is still doable. Going to A again, this has been a pretty predictable play from them. And because they've been doing this, it allows these two CTs, again, of Matt Hend and Body, to push down Banana, get all the information, which pretty much plays the round for them from the CT's perspective, because Toydu can just sit on archers. He knows that he's safe. Fox can sit in balcony or pit as he's been doing, and Devil's consistently been on the side. So these rounds are just playing themselves, really, for LDLC White, and this is the issue that Infused have had. They've only won 2 rounds thus far on their T side. And a lot of it has been down to getting into these scenarios and doing nothing with it. Again, Devil in an identical position. I've seen him hit 2 or 3 times. It's a very strong position, don't get me wrong, but it seems like a lack of inspiration here from Infused, a lack of grenades to cover their way across. And they did have grenades in that round. They had a couple flashes and a smoke. (15-12), 3 match points to save for Infused. LDLC White just have to win one of these, and I'll be moving on to Dust 2 1-0 up. Very impressive considering it was 10-0 at one point, and since then it's been one-way traffic in their favour. Up on Critical, up on Toynu. Neither player has got an early pick, I say that, but Toynu has been taken down by Critical, and that could be the determining factor here in the 28th round. Flashes over Smoke as well for Pit. It's going to be trying Smoke Screener away, and a Critical again just repeats the identical spot, and he gets the upper hand. There's 3, looking for a 4th as well. Body pushes down Banana, probably should have done better there. Here comes the smoke and they're pushing. They're going for the jugular. They get the kill on Fox on 7 HP. Is there any point in him trying to retake this? Yes, there is. Their economy is very, very good for LDLC White, so there's no point in him saving this. 6.2k before the round ends, so it's definite rebuy up anyway. But maybe he's just going to look for exit frags. Making sure they can buy up the next 2 rounds rather than 1. Maybe just playing this one smart. He misses the shot there. Gets it on the second time of asking, and that is going to be a saved up. That's $4,750 in the bank. Plus his Kevlar, plus his defuse kit, and a couple flashes. So that's, you're looking at over 6k that he's just saved there. That's a significant chunk of change. And it does pretty much signify that they will definitely be able to buy up the next 2 rounds, whatever happens in this next one. 13 to 15, and Infused want that overtime. Another tense matchup here for the CS Arena Showdown Invitational. It is day number 2 out of 3. We will have another best of, well, 2 best of 3s tomorrow, including these 2 teams. And C-Play plus Publicler as well, of course. C-Play have got themselves through to the finals whatever happens. And Publicler will face whichever team wins this one. This best of 3, which right now, it could really be the team. It's too tough to call, it's too close to call. LDLC White have been took right down to the wire on their choice of map. Dust 2, we know how powerful Infused are on that map, on T's and CT side. They are capable of dominating teams. $50 seconds, Infused. Lose a player. Z times out. That's so unfortunate. Being in a 4v5 in such a clutch round like this, such a huge round like this, 38 seconds, and that's really going to put them at a huge disadvantage. I can't understate that enough. But they're going to be looking to push in regardless. They've lost the first couple players. Here we go. Red Snake coming in. What a fantastic double kill. Spins round 180 degrees and gets the frag onto Fox and gives his team a chance, a glimmer of hope. They're keeping themselves in this map, but he's so low on HP. He's got no flashes or smokes, and here comes the charge from the Frenchman. And Matt Hend gets the kill with 1 HP. I feel so sorry for Infused there, having 4 players in the final round. That sucks. But LDLC will be picking up the first map, and we will be moving to Dust 2, Infused choice. So don't go anywhere, guys. I'm going to take a quick commercial break here and get myself a drink. I'll be back in just a few moments to catch the second map between these 2 huge teams. We'll see you shortly.